Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our conference today. It's the second in this series.
Why are cattle herders in the northern parts of Nigeria under increased pressure to move into the farmlands of southern Nigeria and central Nigeria? Desertification. The rain is not falling anywhere, and because the rain is not falling anywhere as it used to, and things are changing, then there is a need for these cattle herders, to encroach on farms. And once they begin to encroach on farms, there is resistance.
Women in Canada and Africa can work together to solve those problems. And when you think about it, we are all related to each other because of women. No person comes into the world alone.
We do hope that the fact that this lake will push governments to act even faster.
Climate change has the potential to trigger not only misery, but also transformational change. We need a number of paradigm shifts.
The idea of resilience has almost entered the everyday lexicon and is in danger of becoming something which seems natural. Just as you were saying, women's labor burdens are seen as kind of natural.
We're happy to join this institute in discussing issues of concern to the African continent.
When it comes to the matters of climate change, strategies for resilience, and the recovery of the ecosystem that we collectively live in, we must be constructing a really true partnership that recognizes and values African knowledge. Not just African knowledge, but the knowledge of indigenous peoples who exist in both Africa and in Canada.
What they need is a partnership of equals to help to enhance and expand their capacity to mitigate climate change, and not just that they're looking for handouts or top-down solutions. So they have their own solutions. They have agency. They just need a little bit.
I think this is very exciting and very important. Last year, the elections in this country brought a new government in, a government committed to climate change, committed to the COP21 agenda, and has always been committed to Africa. So I think it's important that we start the conversation, that we engage Canadians, that we engage Africans, that we have a partnership here.
What is required, I believe, is a synergy and enlightenment. One which is that we had conferences like this back in the continent.
There is need for local political goodwill. And I speak from the experience of the MDGs, which lapsed in September 2015, and I had the opportunity to do some research in Kenya.
Our hope is to see the COP22 in Marrakesh gathering a lot of women from Africa that they can tackle and they can be actors.
They're the core of the family and the core of society, so it has to start with women. Women have to play a leading role here and are prepared to, and I understand, willing to play that lead role.
We're talking about innovation on there, and certainly that's something we're looking at. I'm interested as to what sort of intellectual property mechanisms you're looking at, what sort of knowledge sharing mechanisms outside of IP you're looking at. What are you paying attention to in terms of trying to improve innovation?
A real credit, I think, goes to all the organizers, and particularly Pius Adefami, my friend and my colleague, and the new director of the Institute of African Studies.
Canada will be working with international partners to implement the Paris Agreement. In particular, we will advocate for ambitious and robust accountability and transparency requirements. This will strengthen the environmental effectiveness of the Paris Agreement and ensure progress towards the goal we have set ourselves in this agreement.
Going by what you heard in the room today, these Western governments are no longer in the mood to give handouts or to give the kind of top-down aid, that these African governments are fond of coming here, cap in hand, to beg for. So there is that pressure There's that pressure on all sides for responsibility.
Wonderful to be part of the process and to see Ias push in new directions under my colleague and friend Professor Ias Adesami, who's now replaced me as the director.
This year is most encouraging.
I don't think that these people often get as much thanks as they should. They are responsible for making everything here happen and so seamlessly. And so please join me up here. June Payne, Bonnie Bates, Tunde Ojo, Irene Wang, Prince Ainsley Kent, Chanel Reed, Kyla Rose, Emily Hershey, Heba Awad, Mohammed Said.